Welcome to Inspirational Journeys, everyone. My name is Ann Harrison, and seeing that we are already in a new month by the time you're hearing this, it is time to talk about prepping for NaNoWriMo. We call this month Preptober because it is the month of October, and it's the time when people make their preparations. If you are going to participate in NaNoWriMo, it's time for you to make your preparations for your novel, your nonfiction, your hodgepodge of projects, whatever you're working on to reach that 50,000 word goal. And my project will be titled Anything Goes. So when you're making your prep, there are a couple of things you can do. You can, write character profiles like I've talked about before, make a list of your characters. But the one thing when it comes to plot that I like to do, and I'm going to open up a notepad. I'm going to share my screen to kind of give you guys a sense of what I'm doing. I talked about this on my podcast a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was 3 weeks ago now that I think about it since then, because I've had 2 interviews since I did that really short podcast. But I'm going to revisit it again, not only for the podcast as a reminder, but for those watching the video, because I did not do a video on this. So I want you YouTube viewers to see what I was talking about on the podcast if you've been listening. So, and I will link to that particular episode if you are interested. So here we go. Let me open up a notepad. Okay. Now let me share my screen because I want you to watch what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's say you're writing a romance. Excuse me. Okay. And you're stuck on a part of your plot and you want to make it interesting. So what you can do, we start with what if, and then I'm gonna put in parentheses, protagonist has an affair with best friend while betrothed is out of town. And then from there, if it inspires you to ask more questions, like for example, will she get caught, or will the affair go on for a while before betrothed finds out? What is the conflict? Okay. You can go with questions like that. Now, if you are mystery, if you do mystery, for example, whether it be thriller, cozy mystery, you could do something like this. What if protagonist sees best friend, no, not sees, witnesses best friend murder? How will it affect him or her? Does protagonist protagonist become a suspect what is his reaction to the inciting, and I know I misspelled it, but it doesn't matter because we're not supposed to make this perfect, or paradigm shift. Yeah, I know. Not very good. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's actually messy. And I made it messy because I didn't want it to look absolutely perfect. These are questions that can inspire plot points. You can feel free to use these, even though they're messy. Feel free to use them. Feel free to come up with some questions of your own. But that's basically how you what if things. And then you can also, if you're doing nonfiction, you can say, okay, so what do I need? Can I explain a certain element? How can I explain a certain element to the reader? What are my reflections on this part of my journey, etc., etc. So these are some of the plot points you can ask yourself, things you can write in your journal to get inspiration. And one of the things I like to do if I'm getting stuck, and I'm going to close this out, is wait, no, I'm not, because I'm going to show you something. I'm going to use my character Becca's name, or I'm going to say, hey, protagonist. I'm not even going to put it in parentheses, but watch. Hey, protagonist, tell me what happened next. And then you go on and ask your character the questions from there. You put in protagonist name. That's why I put protagonist. I'm probably not even going to save this because it's really messy and stuff, but you get the idea. So those are some ideas and things you can do to prep for NaNoWriMo during Preptober. And if you have not signed up for NaNoWriMo, I will put the link to the website in the description. And if you would like to add me as a buddy, my name on NaNoWriMo is Anne Writes Inspiration. I will write that down. My NaNoWriMo name is Anne Writes Inspiration. And I don't do well. I don't do well in talking it out while I'm typing because I get distracted, as you can see. So yeah, that is my NaNoWriMo name if you'd like to add me as a buddy. Also, you can contact me through my website or follow me on social to get updates on my Nano project. And I do have some interviews, about 3 interviews coming up in the next couple weeks. But during NaNoWriMo, I will also do some week 1 updates with word counts and progress updates to let you know how things are going, and if I come up with any other tips and tricks and maybe even some reflections, we'll talk about those too. So let me know what you like to see more before I close everything out and in this recording. Let me know what you like to see. Yeah. Okay. Let me there, stop screen share. Okay. So, and the reason that I was asking is because, do you like the solos? Do you like the interviews? Do you like both? If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. If you're listening on the podcast, you can leave me a voice message. You can also connect with me on social. My social medias are listed on my main anchor page on my podcast. They're also listed on YouTube, and they're also listed in the descriptions. So I will definitely, well, they have been, but I've had to make some changes to that. So, but do get in touch with me and let me know, which do you like better, the interviews or the solos, or do you like a mixture of both? I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you next week when I will be talking with Stephen Murray. So stay tuned for that, and have a blessed day, everyone. Take care. Oh, and don't forget, before I close this out, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like the video because it helps others find me. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a new video. If you're listening on the podcast, whatever your podcast app is, be sure to subscribe, and go to, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcasting app you're listening to, be sure to leave a rating and review because it does help others find me. So again, have a blessed day, everyone. I will see you next week. And remember, your story matters.